remember an incident at the fashion high school. I was on the 7th floor, and a fire happened on the 2nd floor. On the 7th floor, there I was with the students. They had hearing aids, but for some reason they couldn't hear. They weren't paying attention. We were talking about Russian history and was in a deep discussion. They asked a lot of questions because I made them work hard. I wasn't looking outside. I couldn't because I was paying attention to my class. Do you know who came into my classroom? A fireman. He asked, "What are you doing here?" I looked at him oddly, puzzled. I told the fireman, "I have class." He said, "Did you know there's a fire in the building? What's wrong with you?" I said, "Excuse me? We're all deaf." He told us to hurry up, hurry up. So we all got our stuff and left in a hurry. And I looked on the 7th floor, and there was no one. No one there. They had forgotten about us. They had just run off without telling us, meaning the last person to know could have been the first to die. Ugh.
Around 1989, I was working in Long Island at an architecture office. A funny thing happened. I went to the bathroom alone. When I came back, I noticed the office was empty. Nobody was there. I thought, where'd everybody go? What's going on? And I noticed people were outside. So I went outside and they were all looking at me. I said, "What's up?" They told me that there was a fire emergency. I said, "Really? I didn't know that. I'm deaf. I couldn't hear the alarm. If it was a real fire, I could have died in there." My coworkers have to come up to me and let me know that a fire is happening. But in 1989, they didn't have any blinking emergency lights. Well, now they do. Deaf people need visual things. They need to see the fire alarms. We can't hear that. Our responsibility as deaf people is to educate hearing people that they have to be mindful of us and how to handle emergency situations involving deaf people. A lot of times, hearing people tend to forget.
Downstairs, and they can read it. Where do you have it? No, it's in the office. What
we do is we call up the headquarters, and we get an interpreter, or if possible, we'll try to use someone on the street that knows sign language.
How do you communicate with them?
Most of the time, I just look at them and they read lips.
Not all the fish.
How could you help deaf people? Does the police academy train you? If you're about to arrest me, right?
Yeah.
My hands, I use sign language to communicate, right? And you handcuff me. How am I going to communicate with you? You know that, right?
Yes.
This is something that we need to educate the police.
Right.
All over, not just New York. Because
right.
when they arrest deaf people, we can communicate. How do you tell us our rights?
Unfortunately, we don't have that much training.
You don't have that much training?
They need to, they should accommodate.
So what do you suggest?
Just maybe a one-day course?
One-day course? Who's gonna pay for that?
That's the problem, the money situation. I mean, I guess the city would have to.
The city? I agree with you. They should be responsible because we are citizens. We live here, we pay our taxes. We take the public transportation.
Oh, yeah.
We go places, and you are here, to protect and serve, right? Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay.
I asked this police officer to demonstrate how he communicates with deaf people. That's it, you see. You be the judge. I'm going to talk to that cop who sent me to the wrong place. If you work for City Hall, you ought to know where you're sending me. What is wrong with this picture? You tell me.
Every public worker that works for the government should be like, it should be necessary in order for you to work as a public worker. You should learn how to sign. Maybe that will make it easier for everybody else.
The NYPD don't have that much sensitivity training on how to deal with deaf people in the event of emergency. They don't know what to do. They don't know how to communicate with deaf people. That police officer was nice enough to talk to me for a good 5 minutes. Why? Because I could speak. If I can't speak at all, would they have the patience to write back and forth? That's a big thing, I wonder. I proposed a challenge to the city to implement a plan to enforce a law for all public workers to take basic training course in American Sign Language by deducting $1 from their paycheck bi-weekly. Oh look, there's a life jacket information on the wall. Imagine being a deaf person. If something happens and they panic, announcement over the loudspeaker would not work for them. Where's the life jacket? Oh, there it is, under the seat. I can swim well, but for some reason, I am unable to tread water for more than 2 minutes. And if the ferry is sinking and the life jacket is not within my reach, and do I go with the ferry?
Deaf people have to do something. We're not going to be treated as second-class citizens and do nothing. No.
Track 108. I'm deaf. And hear well. I don't need that mic. And how do we improve the information center where you make an announcement for deaf people? We need access. We're trying to improve the information communication center where we get access to information. That in our work for deaf people, we rely on visibility. So if you say the train track is canceled or changed track, how do we know?
And that's where they are. Customer relations.
So is that 420?
Yes.
Yeah.
Customer relations.
It's right there at the bottom.
Right at the bottom.
It's right at the bottom. It's on there. It's right there on the piece of paper. I plan to tell the world and the communities all over how deaf and hard of hearing are frustrated with communication barriers. Sometimes communication is not always effective. For example, when deaf and hard of hearing people ride public transportation, like the train. Sometimes an announcement tells people of a change, having to get off at a specific street or at a specific stop. Sometimes deaf people miss the trend because we can't hear it. We have to rely on other people by following them or asking them questions. They have to ask hearing people for information. Information is very important. And to show how deaf people in general are usually shut out or forgotten or ignored when it comes to communication and information, especially in emergency. So applying this to 9/11 when people were panicking because of terror, what to do, who to ask for help, who to get information from.
New York City will always be the target of something. Are people prepared for deaf people? Emergency services, FEMA, are they ready for deaf people? I'm afraid.
This is a clear indication of how there is a lack of coordination within the deaf and hard of hearing community. And that's very serious. And people just don't take it seriously and don't take accountability. They say, I'm not responsible, I'm totally focused on my school, I'm totally focused on my agency, I'm focused on my community, and that's it. I don't know about other communities, I'm sorry.
How prepared is the deaf and hard of hearing community? Are they ready? Unfortunately, many deaf and hard of hearing people don't expect nor prepare for another event like 9/11 as they would for a blackout or a snowstorm.